Hey mamas, today I've got for you a 10-minute prenatal stretch for your hips, glutes, and legs. So we're gonna work on releasing that tension that we hold in our hips, legs, and lower body during pregnancy. We're gonna start with the child's pose. So come on over to your mat, open your knees nice and wide, toes together, push your hips back toward your heels, and just melt into the floor. We're gonna hold each pose for 1 minute. So just relax, breathe through it. Try to let go of any tension you're carrying. The bigger you are, and the further you are along in your pregnancy, you may need to open your knees wider, and that's totally fine. Do whatever's comfortable for your belly, your hips. You're just pushing your hips back toward your heels here. Just try to open everything up. It's great for your lower back as well. Almost there, and we'll just move right to our next exercise. And we're gonna do a frog stretch. So this time you're gonna take your knees a little bit wider, fan your toes out so your feet are flexed, and then come down onto your forearms and feel that stretch through your inner thighs. So you can go as low as you want to. If you feel comfortable, you're more flexible, you can go ahead and extend your arms and melt your chest to the floor. I, however, need to stay up here. My hips and inner thighs are very tight. So I'm gonna stay up here and see if I can work my way down. Also a great stretch for the low back. What we don't realize a lot of times is everything's connected through the spine. So when we have tight hips and glutes, that can cause a tight back as well and cause back pain, especially during pregnancy. So we want to work on releasing all that tension. And if you need one for your back, neck, and shoulders, I've got a stretch for that too. We've got about 8 seconds left here. Yeah, this one's hard for me, you guys. Oh, so tight in my lower body. All right, we're gonna move on to a hip flexor stretch. So carefully come up. We're gonna bring those knees to 90 degrees. I want you to tuck your back hip under, squeeze that glute just a little bit, and then push that back thigh forward. So you feel a nice stretch down the front of that leg. So right here is where I want you to feel it. Then you're gonna take that same arm up, slightly over, and try to pull your rib off your hip here. You can even use this arm to kind of give it a little pull and get more of a stretch. So a lot of people go really far forward. You don't need to do that. If you tuck this glute and push right here, you're gonna feel that stretch, and then that arm, little pull will add that extra little release through the side body. We're gonna move on to our runner's lunge. So I'm gonna show you again from the side. This time we are gonna walk that front foot forward. Now create space on the inside of that foot for your hands, and now you're really gonna lean in to that hip flexor. So you're trying to push that leg, that back leg that's straight, you're trying to push that hip toward the mat. Do you feel it? This is one of my favorites. And you can stay up here on your palms. If it's too much, you can come up here, or if you want more, again, you can work down to your forearms. I can almost get there in this one, but you want to try to keep that foot on the mat. Whew. Can really feel all that tension releasing in your hip flexors here. Most people are quad dominant, so those hip flexors are tight. Regardless of if you are working out consistently, even just sitting can get those muscles really tight. So we want to really release that pressure. All right, we're going to a modified pigeon here. So we're going to bring those feet closer together, front foot toward the inner thigh, back foot toward the glute. So I'll show you from the front here. So we're pulling this foot in and this foot in, flexing that front foot, and then we're going to lean into that front leg as much as it is comfortable. Now this is where you're gonna feel it right here in that side glute. That's what you want. So again, you go down as far as you want, but try to stay kind of centered here. We don't wanna lean too much into this leg. That's not gonna open up that hip like we want. And we flex that front foot to protect our knee. Again, if you're more flexible, you can take your hands all the way down. Your belly might get in the way if you're close to your third trimester or in your third trimester. I'm almost there. A couple more weeks and I'll be there. All right, we're gonna go to a glute spinal twist. So we're gonna take that back leg, leaving the front leg where it is, take the back leg, cross it over. If you can only come here, that's fine. Cross it over so the foot's near the knee, and then we're gonna add a little twist. Now again, depending on where you're at in your pregnancy, you may not get a lot of twist. That's okay, but I want you to try to cup this thigh and then pull it toward your chest. You're gonna feel that release in your glute, and then take this hand, walk it back and rotate. So you're looking behind you or as far as you can. Again, pregnancy kind of decreases your mobility for this stretch, but you can still feel it, right? As you're pulling that thigh towards you. Really nice stretch for your hips and your spine. Again, it's all connected. Important to release all of it. All right, we're gonna move and do everything on the other side. So going to that hip flexor stretch, this time we're gonna take that opposite leg forward. Again, tucking that back hip under. From the side here, we tuck, feel that burn right here. That's releasing that pressure. Arm up, really actively reach, and then if you want to, you can give it a little pull. So we're active in that reach with the arm. We're not just like letting that arm flop over. We're reaching, trying to lift that rib off the hip, giving it a gentle pull. How's it feeling? Hopefully you're starting to feel some of that pressure release. We're gonna move on to that runner's lunge. So walk that foot forward now. Hands on the inside of the foot. Walk that back leg back if you want a little deeper stretch. And you're turning that hip toward the mat, trying to push it down. Again, you can stay up high on your hands like this. You can start to work your way onto your forearms. I'm gonna shift over so I can get my arms on the mat. And you're definitely gonna see where your asymmetries are, right? Like this side for me is so much tighter. But that's good because we can work one side individually, we can kind of isolate those muscles and focus on that muscle symmetry. And part of getting muscle symmetry is not just working out, it's also stretching and relieving tight muscles. Tight muscles are weak muscles, so we want to do things like this to help even everything out and avoid injury. All right, we're gonna move on to that modified pigeon. I'll show you from the side this time. So front foot pulls in, flex that foot, back foot, heel comes in. Then we're gonna crawl forward. Just release. Remember, we're staying kind of centered here. We don't want to lean over to one side or the other. And just remember to breathe through these two, right? Try to take deep belly breaths rather than shallow, breaths like you're working out, like you're doing cardio. We want to really send that oxygen, get that blood flowing to the muscles, and that'll help us relax as well as loosen things up. It's good practice for labor, right? Trying to breathe through the pain. All right, moving on to that glute spinal twist. So again, taking that back leg, crossing it over as much as you can. I did that side already. This side, this time. Again, pulling that thigh toward your chest. You're gonna notice one side feels tighter. For me, that's this side. So I can't go as far, that's okay though. Just pulling that knee close to your chest. You're gonna feel that stretch in that side glute, the back of your thigh. We're almost done with the workout. And this is one you could repeat it a couple times if you want a little deeper stretch, hold the poses longer, or couple it with another deep stretch workout. Like I said, I have one for the upper body too, and a few that are not pregnancy specific, but still good. And we're gonna finish there. So there you have it, 10 minutes. I hope your hips and glutes feel much more relaxed after that. Be sure to check out my other prenatal workouts to help you stay healthy and fit throughout your pregnancy. I'll see you next time.